Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Netflix's most recent original release by Peter Berg, and it's Spenser Confidential. And I guess Peter Berg and Mark Wahlberg are just going to be making films together forever, because we got Lone Survivor, Patriots Day, Deepwater Horizon, and we had, I think it's 21 Miles, something Miles, and now Spenser Confidential. And long and the short of it is, their films about real world things and real occurrences seem to work a lot better than their fiction films. Because their most recent collaboration was kind of a hot mess and was a bit of a misfire. And this film, I feel like it's just enjoyable enough. You know exactly what you're going to get by watching this trailer and going in. Tonally, it feels like it takes itself a little too seriously for what really works for the film, because it is taking on it's a crime drama, and Mark Wahlberg plays this cop who spent 5 years in prison because he beat up a captain who then mysteriously is murdered by a group of people, and everybody thinks it's Mark Wahlberg or this other cop who has been framed for it, and Mark Wahlberg's like, that's not right, I'm gonna figure out what's going on. And on some level, you feel like this is going to be a serious cop drama. And then Mark Wahlberg acts like Mark Wahlberg, Alan Arkin acts like Alan Arkin, and there's a lot of humor trying to get pushed into this film, along with the fact that it has this kind of darker, more serious tones at times. Because you can't help but feel like it's a lighter tone when Mark Wahlberg's voice gets really high and starts saying Mark Wahlberg stuff. And then Alan Arkin's just sitting over here making snarky comments about everything. And Winston Duke is a nice addition too, because he has a lot of charisma, and it's just him and Mark Wahlberg having this odd couple kind of thing, arguing over Mark Wahlberg's dog and which of them the dog loves more. And his ex-girlfriend, who is super bastard and really sounds like she's some joke from Family Guy or something like that, and why not they have make-up sex in the middle of a bathroom at one point? It's just I'm having trouble taking this movie seriously if it keeps acting like this. And that's the issue, because it has a tonal problem of am I supposed to take this seriously, or is this supposed to be an action comedy? And that's where this really falls, because if this movie knew what it was more and focused and leaned more into the action comedy, it probably would have worked better. But it still really tries to rely upon the fact that this is a serious drama and they're dealing with some serious stuff. If you're trying to be Copland and the other guys at the same time, it's probably not going to work. And that's kind of what this movie feels like. And Peter Berg does not a great job of trying to balance those tones, but in each of those moments when they're trying to be each of those movies, it does pretty much work. It's just a mixed bag of them trying to mash them together. And Alan Arkin's doing his Alan Arkin thing is enjoyable as ever, and Winston Duke is a nice addition to this, and Mark Wahlberg's just being Mark Wahlberg. And yeah, that's really what Spenser Confidential is about. And you know what? Yeah, it's a interesting movie. There's some fun moments, there's some crazy, ridiculous moments, this gang's chasing after him with machetes and stuff like that in the middle of a restaurant, a fast food restaurant. It's what the hell's going on here? Mark Maron's in it for a little bit, and I really like him in Glow, and I want to see him in more things. And, and it's a interesting movie. And I don't know what to say. It's if you watch this trailer and you enjoy the kind of movies that Mark Wahlberg makes that are kind of silly, and then you get some of that, but it's trying to be more dramatic, and when it comes down to it, it's it's kind of a mixed bag. It was watchable enough for an hour and 50 minutes of Netflix, but I don't say this is something that it's a lot of people are going to love. And there's a weird cameo from a very, very popular musician, which they spoil in the trailer, and it's just what are you doing in this movie? But you know what? I thought that a lot of the times. What's this doing in this movie? But in the end of it, it was fine. I enjoyed it more than Six Underground. I feel like that's what Netflix is doing. They're finding like high profile actors, they watch their whole entire filmography and throw it into a machine, and some robot writes the script for it, and it's just like, hey, we hit on all their major points from all their movies. Here's a movie. Hopefully you like it. And it's just like, not really, but I'll watch it. But those are my thoughts on Spenser Confidential. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.